As I stumble toward the stove, greeted by the aroma of freshly brewed coffee, I awaken to the gentle glow of dawn peeking through the kitchen window. Oliver, my 7-year-old son, sits at the table. I hear the soft crunch of cereal as I sip my coffee. His unkempt brown hair dangles over his face, a bowl of sugary flakes in front of him, his little legs swaying beneath the chair. I'm trying to keep things normal, to have just a regular morning. I wake up, I make pancakes. But today is anything but ordinary, because today, I have to go to my ex-wife's sister's wedding, and for some reason, we were invited. I don't know why I agreed to go. Maybe because Oliver still loves his mom, despite everything she's done, despite how her family treats us, like we're nothing. It's been 2 years since Melleen left me, and Oliver is still too young, too kind to understand. I can still remember the day she walked out, told me I wasn't good enough, left me for a richer man. My job at the restaurant? It was fine. I made a living. But for her, it wasn't enough. She wanted more. And when she left, the stress ate away at me. My focus slipped and the owner demoted me. From manager to waiter. Now I work extra shifts, pouring coffee, clearing dishes, just to keep a roof over my son's head. I shake those thoughts away as I pour syrup over Oliver's pancake and slide the plate in front of him. He looks up at me with those big blue eyes. Her eyes, and grins. Thanks, Dad. And just like that, it's enough to keep me going. But tonight is going to test me. I'll have to step into that wedding, face Beverly, my ex-mother-in-law, a woman who's hated me since the moment Melleen brought me home. A restaurant worker? She had scoffed, loud enough for everyone to hear. Really, Melleen? You can do better. She never cared that I was good at my job, never cared that I loved her daughter. To her, I was trash, because I didn't come from money. And when Melleen left me, Beverly acted like she'd been right all along. I can already picture her tonight, standing there in some expensive dress, smirking at me like I'm dirt under her shoe. I take a sip of my coffee. The bitterness matches my emotions. Oliver is, still eating, oblivious to the storm in my head. I don't want him to see it. He's the reason I keep my chin up, the reason I don't let the weight of it all crush me. You excited to see Aunt Celia get married? I ask, forcing a smile. He shrugs, poking at his pancake. I guess. She's kind of mean, though. I chuckle. Kid's got good instincts. He's right. Celia is just like her mother, always looking down on me. But I don't say that. Instead, I ruffle his hair and tell him to finish eating. We have a long day ahead. Getting ready feels like preparing for battle. I dig through my closet and pull out my old suit from when I was a manager. It's a little snug now, but it'll do. I catch a glimpse of myself in the mirror. My face looks older, tired. Too many late nights, too much stress. I'm only 35, but I feel twice that. Oliver walks in, wearing the button-up shirt I ironed for him. He looks so small, so innocent. Do I look okay, Dad? He asks, tugging at the collar. You look fantastic, buddy, I say, and I mean it. He's the best thing in my life, the only thing keeping me from giving up. As we head out the door, I grab the car keys and take a deep breath. The wedding is at some posh hotel, the kind of place I'd never set foot in if it weren't for this. I know what's waiting for me there. Beverly's sharp tongue, Celia's fake smiles, a room full of people who think I'm a failure, maybe even Melleen, standing beside her new guy, just to twist the knife a little more. My stomach tightens, but I push it down. I've survived worse than this. I lost my wife. I lost my career. I lost my pride. But I still have Oliver. And for him, I'll walk into that lion's den with my head held high. Soft music fades to a heavier, suspenseful tone. The drive to the Blackwood Grand Hotel feels longer than it should. The hum of the car engine fills the silence between us. Oliver sits quietly, his little hands folded in his lap, staring out the window. I grip the steering wheel tighter, trying to focus on the road, instead of the chaos waiting for us at the end of it. Then, Oliver's voice cuts through the silence. "Why do we have to go, Dad?" I glance at him. His brow is furrowed, deep in thought. "They never liked you." His words hit me like a punch. Not because they hurt, but because he's right. He's only 7, but he sees more than I give him credit for. I force a smile. Keep my voice steady. Because family is family, I say. Sometimes, you show up even when it's hard. It's a bad answer. And I know it. He doesn't argue, just nods and looks back out the window. But his question lingers in my head. Why am I really doing this? We arrive at the hotel. It towers over the street, glass, and stone, screaming wealth. The kind of place where a single night costs more than I make in a month. I park, and Oliver unbuckles his seatbelt, watching me carefully. "You okay, Dad?" I hate that he's worried about me. "Yeah, I'm okay." I force a grin. "Come on, maybe they'll have cake." That makes him smile. Cake is a small thing, but tonight, it's something to hold on to. I don't know what to say, so I just draw him close, my arm around his shoulders, and grip on tight. He's small, but right now, he's the biggest thing in this place. I'm sitting there, my arm still around Oliver, as the ballroom spins into mayhem around us. The recording's done playing, yet its echoes are bouncing off the walls, stirring up the throng like a kicked beehive. Individuals are talking all at once, their voices loud and crisp. Chairs scrape as some stand to get a better view. My brain is still reeling from what I heard, Celia's confession, mine's cold shrug, and I can barely think straight. Oliver is snuggled against my side, his little body warm and stable, and I'm clinging to him like he's the only thing, stopping me from coming apart. The phone sits there on the table up front, a cracked tiny bomb that just blasted this wedding to pieces. James breathed at first, his voice piercing through the noise like a bolt of thunder. "What is this?" he demands, staring at Celia. His face is crimson now, not pale anymore, and his hands are shaking at his sides. He's a large guy, broad shoulders, that fine tux, but right now he seems like he's about to shatter. Celia trips over her words, her veil loosening as she turns to him. It's phony," she says again, louder this time, though it's feeble, desperate. She's pointing at Oliver, her finger trembling. "He's lying. That child made it up." Yet, the recording is still fresh in everyone's ears. I see the skepticism on James's face, the way his eyes narrow like he's putting it all together. Suddenly, mine's voice comes back through the speakers in my mind, even though the phone is off now. "Take Daniel if you want. I've already moved on." I shut my eyes for a second, the sting of it striking me again. I loved her once, gave her everything I had, and she threw me away like trash. And now I find out her sister was part of it, urging her to leave me because she wanted me for herself. It's twisted, and it aches. But there's a peculiar relief in it, too, knowing it wasn't entirely my fault. I open my eyes and stare at Oliver. His little jaw is set tight. He's watching the mess unfold, and I wonder, how long has he been holding this? Planning this? James isn't waiting for further explanations. He yanks at his tie, loosening it like it's choking him, and then he grabs the wedding band off his finger. "We're done," he says, his voice hard and final. He throws the ring down. It strikes the floor with a crisp clink, sliding under a table. The crowd gasps, some people clapping like it's a spectacle, others murmuring in astonishment. Celia shouts, a high, frantic shriek, and runs for him, grasping his sleeve. "James, no! You don't understand!" she yells. But he shakes her off, his face dark with wrath. He doesn't even glance back as he storms toward the exit, his sneakers loud on the marble floor. Beverly finally moves, racing forward like she can. "Fix this! James, wait!" she calls, her voice sharp. But he's already gone, the door slamming shut behind him. She spins around, her green dress swishing, and glares at Celia. "What have you done?" she hisses, but Celia is too busy sobbing, her hands covering her face, mascara pouring down her cheeks. The guests are on their feet now, some headed for the bar, others clustering in tiny groups, their whispers building into a cacophony. I can hear bits of it. "Did you hear that?" She adored the waiter. Poor James. And it's like I'm not even here, just a ghost in their gossip. I look at Beverly. She's staring right back at me, her eyes flashing with rage. But for once, I don't feel small under that glare. I feel something different, something scorching, something steadily growing in my chest. Justice. After all the years of her sneers, her insults, her treating me like trash, it's finally turning back on her. I can't help it.